So we recently made a video on the tallest buildings ever in fiction, and boy did the comments section light up. I should have said the tallest buildings in fiction as to our information, but anyway, the people have spoken and we will commence with the second part, with the choices from the comments section on the tallest buildings in fiction ever, part 2. For the first part you can dive into our channel to get it, so let's get on with the video. The first here is the urban monad. So these urban monads from The World Inside by Robert Silverberg are dystopian structures designed to house over 800,000 people in a completely enclosed self-sufficient society. These vast residential towers known as urban monads or just monads have 1,000 floors and thus a height of 3 kilometers. Next we have the Colosseum from Bionicle. This massive structure, also called the Colosseum in Metro Nui in Bionicle, serves as both an arena and a central hub for the city's power, where the city is ruled. It stands as the tallest building in Metro Nui, towering over all others. Though an exact height is never given, it is estimated to be at least a couple of kilometers tall. Up next we have the Wallace Towers from Blade Runner 2049. So these towers dominate the dystopian skyline of the future city of Los Angeles in Blade Runner 2049. They are vast, monolithic structures designed with a brutalist yet elegant aesthetic and reach more than 3 kilometers into the sky. Then next we have the Ivory Tower from the Never-Ending Story. This is the central palace of Fantasia, home to the childlike Empress. A spiraling ornate structure made from shimmering white material, it appears to float in the sky while still being grounded to the ground. Its exact height is unknown, but it is depicted as an enormous towering structure likely several kilometers tall, dwarfing the surrounding landscape. Then a bit bigger is the Metropolis from Rainworld. So this is a sprawling city-like complex, a superstructure filled with prime machinery. Atop the tallest tower is a tall spiked structure at the center of the Metropolis building, and it rises above the clouds, which means it is at least 2 to 5 kilometers tall. Then next we have the Karma Temple from Shin Megami Tensei, the Digital Devil Saga. This is a vast monolithic tower in a junkyard serving as the ultimate goal for all factions striving to reach Nirvana. It is a brutalist, imposing structure filled with deadly trials and existential revelations. Like many here, its exact height is unknown, but it appears several kilometers tall, which dominates the bleak landscape. Then we come to the first tower of R. Tonelico from the Exapico universe. This colossal tower is built as a self-sustaining world, reaching into the heavens. It serves as a habitat and an interface for the powerful Rivetiles. The tower stands at 7,000 meters or 7 kilometers, or also 23,000 feet if you want to use the US metric system. It pierces the sky and connects to the floating continents above. Then from Star Wars, also known as the Jewel of the Core Worlds, we have an Ecumenopolis, a planet-sized city, Coruscant. Yeah, while it doesn't seem like it, but it is in fact one mega structure built on the surface of that world. And at its highest level, its skyscrapers reach 6,000 meters into the atmosphere, while already being many kilometers above the actual surface of the world, meaning the structures would be over 10 kilometers at the least, since there are 5,000 levels from the surface to the flat top just below the Jedi Temple. Then we come to the Last Redoubt from the Nightland. So this is from a horror fantasy novel by an English writer called William Hope Hodgson. The Last Redoubt is a massive fortress-like tower standing 8 miles or 12.8 kilometers tall, serving as humanity's final refuge in a dark post-apocalyptic world. Then we have the Earth Engine from The Wandering Earth. So this series shows many planetary thrusters propelling Earth away from the dying sun. Each engine consists of towering structures embedded in the planet's surface, each capable of producing immense thrust. The height of each Earth engine is estimated to be around 10 to 30 kilometers depending on the type of engine, making them one of the tallest man-made structures in science fiction. So for all you Warhammer fans out there, we also have the Fang here in this list. We did the Hive cities in the previous video, but now we're concentrating on the Fang, which is a forest monastery of the Space Wolves. It is an absolutely massive structure and built into the heart of the planet Fenris on the tallest mountain of that world, which makes it look like a fang when you look at it from space. This forest is so big it actually pierces the atmosphere with docking points for spacecraft in outer space. Then going on to fantasy, from Dungeons and Dragons, The Forgotten Realms, we have Kinoin. This is the iron fortress of the Yugoloth, standing 20 miles or 32 kilometers tall, made of bone and used as a seat of power in the grey ways of Hades. The next here is from the Terminal World by Alastair Reynolds, and it's called Spearpoint. It is a titanic needle-like megastructure that serves as the last bastion of civilization in a post-apocalyptic world affected by strange zones of shifting physics. The structure is tens of kilometers tall, possibly exceeding 50 kilometers or 31 miles. Then back to the grimdark galaxy, we have the Imperial Palace, which isn't just big, it is a colossal marvel of human architecture and engineering that dominates the entire continent of Asia on Terra. From orbit, it is an imposing sight, with massive monolithic and pyramidal structures rising kilometers into the sky. Oh, so its macro hubs and spaceports stretch out into the void of space, and the tallest here is most probably the Lionsgate spaceport. So we're coming to the end of it, and here we have the vascular plant from Armored Core. This is a gargantuan coral siphon that towers over 100 kilometers over a planet called Rubicon 3 in the world of Armored Core. It was built for interstellar coral export and siphoning it from the planet's surface, and it powers a lot of things there. Anyway, next we have Jacob Orbital Elevator from Mega Man X8. This is a towering space elevator stretching 62,000 kilometers or 38,000 miles into space, and it's used for planetary transport and colonization as well. Then finally we come to the world's tallest building by Phineas and Ferb. Yeah, cartoon but still fiction, right? So it counts. So Phineas and Ferb built the world's tallest building using unconventional means, which is a humble way of saying all the things you can imagine, employing elephants, a fallout cube, a balloon floor, and continued building that tower until it reached the moon. So it's 384,000 kilometers tall. Then for notable mentions we have the Tower from the Tower of God. Coming from the Korean manhwa franchise, this is a colossal mysterious tower filled with countless floors, each housing its own world. It is practically infinite in height, existing beyond normal space-time. And so with that we come to the end of the video. Do hit the like button for support and subscribe if you haven't. Till next time, take care fam.